Watoto naweni mikono. The children of the world have a special token that awaits in the future. So in the middle of wars, conflicts, diseases and corruption, kindly teach them to keep their hands free from dirt. Teach them to live a life that the modern day pestilences cannot hack. Teach them to stay away from social gatherings that can expose them to any viral wrath. And as they find time to share their thoughts about the things they daily see in our society, always remind them in a language they understand best that it is in observing maximum standards of hygiene that we can gain ultimate victory over the diseases that are currently blowing across the globe. So watoto naweni mikono.
Good morning. Hope you are keeping safe wherever you are. Today we are having a very special language that we shall learn. My name is Moses Gitonga, and today I'm joined with my sign language interpreter, Delik Nanderi. So we are going to learn a very unique subject, which is very universal to everyone who do a sign language. So we are having Kenya Sign Language as a subject for everyone who usually use sign language, whether in primary school, secondary school, or even in tertiary levels of education. So I want us, maybe first we can basically know what we mean by the Kenya Sign Language. Maybe my director can focus on us, the viewers, the basic facts of Kenya Sign Language. We can see that in on our screen. Director, please. So the first point that I want us maybe to know is the what we mean by the Kenya Sign Language. Kenya Sign Language is the indigenous dialect used by the person with hearing impairment. It's a very independent language that you usually has its own grammar and its own morphemes and synonym. KSL is the medium of instruction for learners or with person with hearing impairment. And also, this is a very constituted language, which is even in our constitution. Apart from the Braille and the natural language, KSL is constituted. Another thing that maybe I will talk about the Kenya Sign Language, for those learners who are doing special need. This is a very unique, it's a unit that is done by the third years people who are specializing in Kenya, in special need, in hearing impairment. So, and also for those doing postgraduate. Like for myself, I did this unit when I was in that year. I did it when I did my coursework for my master's, and also I'm prospecting to do it in my higher learning. So it's a very unique language that I want us to look at it and see how the grammatical structure is the language. So I have a very basic rules for KSL that I would like us to go through, as then later on we look at the examples of such sentences. So the first thing that we need to know when you are constructing KSL grammar, there is one thing that KSL sentences are grossed. The meaning of grossed, that the spoken word, they are supposed to be written in capital letters. The second one, a comma is punctuated by a slash. This is the slash, and a full stop by a double slash. The third point is according to the Kenya National Association of the Deaf, the Kenya Sign Language grammar follows three major orders. It follows three orders that is in a grammatic. We shall see when we shall be looking at our examples. So the first order is the SVO, SOV, and OSV, where S is the subject, V is the verb, and O is the object. So this is the grammatically, the verb should always be seen. It should always be preceded by the subject, and always you should not start the verb with a sentence in KSL. We shall see when we look at the example of Kenya Sign Language sentences. So first, I would like to look at this example. The first example. In a natural language, we say stay at home. Stay at home. That is in a spoken word, in a spoken sentence. But what do we say it in KSL? You say home stay. Now there's something that I want you to look, or rather to concentrate so much on it. This natural language, we start, or rather in a natural English, we start with the verb. Stay is the verb. Home is the object. Is the object. Now in KSL, there is what we call ellipsis. Ellipsis is whereby we normally omit unnecessarily, no, not unnecessarily. You omit some words that don't change a meaning in a sentence. So in KSL, there is something that we normally avoid. We usually avoid this conjunction, like at. We shall not use it in KSL. That's why in KSL you're supposed to start with the object. Home. Home is the object in this sentence. Stay is the verb. So you say home, stay. And when you look at our rules for KSL, there is one thing that we said. We say that the KSS sentences are closed, meaning that they must start with the capital letter, or rather their sentence must appear in capital letters. As you can see, the whole sentence is in capital letter. Again, we say that the full stop is punctuated with a 2/. These are the 2/. Then there's something that I want us to note, that in KSL, the verb always succeeds the object. Unlike in natural language, where the verb precedes the object. We shall see even when it comes to other sentences, but the most common used order of verb is the one that I highlighted here, the three orders. But the most used is the last two. This one is it's not usually used, but the best I can recommend you to be using, and so that you don't make some mistakes, the SOV and OSV. So when you look at the verb, it succeeds the object. So even the other sentences, we have to make them, or we have to construct them in this format. So let's look at the second sentence. The second sentence, in a natural language, before we go to the second, there's something that I want maybe to take you through. There's what you call now the SEE, Sign Exact English and KSL. What do you mean by when we say the Sign Exact English? Now, my interpreter, I think I'll sign this. I sign this. So I want to sign this sentence in Sign Exact English, and I sign it in KSL. We see where the difference comes in. So I want us to sign, and wherever my viewers you are watching, just sign with me. Maybe you will come up with something that you learn at the end of the lesson. Now, stay at home. How do you sign that? That is why I have brought about the concept of Sign Exact English and the concept of KSL. Signing in Sign Exact English and KSL is totally different. When you say stay at home, when you say stay at home in English, you say stay. This is the sign for stay. Others will sign stay like this because of the regional variation and the cultural variation. But normally the standard one is stay. So stay at, this sign for at home. Now that is sign exact English. Sign exact English is whereby you use the exact words that are spoken in natural language. But in KSL, you're supposed to use this format. So in this format, that sentence is supposed to be said home stay. So you say home stay, and you're done. But when you check the difference between the two sentences, in signing exact English, you have to incorporate this at. But in KSL, you omit, and that's why I have said about the ellipsis. Ellipsis is where you omit one that don't make it doesn't make a change in it doesn't change the meaning of that sentence. When you say homestay, it's quite it's quite understandable, and you'll know what I mean. Or someone who is telling you that you homestay, you'll be able to know what I want to mean. So KSL tends to avoid to apply this rule of ellipsis. Now, number 2, the girl is kicking the ball. The girl is kicking the ball. When you sign that, and in SCE, in sign exact English, how will you sign that? Let me sign. So there is signed the with a T. The girl is kicking the ball. Again, I repeat. The girl is kicking the ball. Now, the same thing. You look at I've taken you through the KSL. Now, this sentence will be changed to KSL. And we have said that we shall use the SOV and OSV. Now, you'll start with the subject. The subject here in this sentence is the girl. So you say, then you follow the SOV. So it's the subject, then object, then verb. So what will that sentence be? Is the girl ball kick? And you see the girl is the object. Ball is an object. Kick is the verb. So we have used this order of SOV, and it must be followed to the verb should, most of the time it must come. It should succeed the object, and that's why we have used SOV. Again, the same sentences, the same sentence you can also represent it in the other format of OSV. You can start with the ball, which is the object. Then you go to the subject, which is the girl, and then kick. The most important thing that you have to note here is that the object should precede the verb. So that's why you have the ball, girl, kick. And you have to note that the full stop, your full stop must have double slash. And also the sentence must appear in capital letter in Kenya Sign Language. Now, how do you sign this? Now, we have signed this. Okay, let me repeat signing it in Sign Exact English, then I sign it with KSL. In natural English, the girl is kicking the ball. So, the girl is kicking the ball. That is in Sign Exact English. We have ensured that we have included all we have signed all words in that sentences. But in KSL, we tend to not to use this, the likes of there and is. We try to limit ourselves using all those words. So that's why you have said girl, ball, kick. So girl, ball, kick. the second one, following this OSV. Ball, girl, kick. That is in KSL. So you have to note, and I'll keep on emphasizing this, you have to note that when you are using this, when you know the format of the subject, object, and verb, you're able to construct your sentence in KSL. At the same time, when you look at my interpreter, when you look at my interpreter, I don't know whether he's using sign exact English or KSL, but either it's recommendable depending on the level or the kind of people you are interpreting for. So I would like us to look at now the third example. The third example, it's my brother bought 2 sanitizers. My brother bought 2 sanitizers. Now there's something that I want us to, okay, when a sentence, okay, when you look at that sentence, this sentence is in past tense. And when a sentence in past tense, in KSL, there is a way that you treat that sentence. How you treat that sentence, you have to make sure that where you have that, like now the word that shows the to buy is a verb. This verb must be changed when it comes to KSL. So, using our usual order of SVO, we can say brother. Okay, let me just write it in a, okay. Brother, mine, bought 2 sanitizer. Brother mine brought 2 sanitizers. But there's something that I want us to note. This sentence, it's in past tense. If the word bought was not in past, let's just have that assumption. If it were not a past tense, this is how you'll have treated that sentence. But this is wrong, because this the word, it happened in past. So you have to treat this, or the past tense of the bought is to buy. So you have to, so what you'll say is brother mine buy. Brother mine. So you start with this subject. My changes to, in KSL, changes to mine. So you have to ensure that this bought changes to present tense. So brother mine buy. Buy is a verb. 2 sanitizer. And then this sentence, it's happened in the past. So you have to add finish. So what you say is brother mine buy 2 sanitizer finish. Because this sentence in KSL, to signify something that happened in past, you have to use maybe finish. You use words like finish, complete. Use such kind of words to signify that sentence happened in the past. So that's why it has, our sentence is brother mine buy 2 sanitizer finish. So I want us to sign that. So in signed exact English, we shall have, so this is a sign for my brother. This is a sign for brother. Brother. So my brother to buy, or to buy, or to bought. This is, so my brother bought. This is to buy. Buy. So my brother bought 2 sanitizers. So sanitizer. This sign for sanitizer. How you press it like this. Sign for sanitizer. And because inside exact English, you see is sanitizers, it's not one. Is sanitizers. So is, I repeat. So my brother bought 2 sanitizers. You have to add the S. After you have signed the sanitizer, then you have to ask, or alternative, you can use sanitizers. You can sign sanitizer like this, then you sign 2 or many. But the best, but because this is signed exact English, you are represented in a natural way. You have to, it's better you use the S to signify that there are 2, or rather there are many. So in KSL, it will be brother mine buy 2 sanitizers finish. The sign for finish is finish. So again, I repeat, brother mine bought 2 sanitizers finish. So, and still notice that have to use the slash, provided it's a sentence with the past tense, or the rules of the game doesn't change in this. Now you have, in that case, you have used SVO. Now I want us to use the next the other order of the verb, which is OSV. How will you put that? Now in this case, you will start with the object. The object in this okay, the object in this case is the 2 sanitizer. A brother is the subject, and buy is the verb. So how will you present this? How will you present this? So the 2 sanitizer is the object. Brother is the subject, and finish. And buy is the verb. So I want us now to sign this with this order, which is OSV. 2 sanitizer. So 2 sanitizer, brother mine boy. So 2 sanitizers. No. In this case, remember this is KSL, so we won't use now the S. We won't add the S, because in KSL, I told you that we normally don't use those grammar. It's not like SCE that you have to put every word that is there in that sentence. But in KSL, we tend to ignore kind of the S that we had, sanitizer. So you sign sanitizer as 1. So what you sign is the 2 sanitizer, brother mine buy finish. And then you put that the slash to signify the slash, the full stop. Now the other number 4, the other example. It goes like, when did you finish school? When did you finish school? Now, when we look at a sentence, it's still there is something that I haven't done here. I haven't put the question mark. When you look at that sentence, it's in past tense. And I have told you how you treat a sentence when it is in past tense. So you have to include sentence words like finish. So when we do it, or rather when we started with this order of OSV, our object here will be the school. You is a pronoun, which is a pronoun that will be treated as a subject. Then finish is the verb. So how will that sentence appear in KSL? It will be, school you finish when? School you finish when? But in exact English is, when did you finish school? So you can see that the when is coming at the end. School is starting as the object following the order of OSV, of objects, subject, verb. You can see the verb is succeeding the object. Just like I said that you have to ensure that the verb succeed the object. So school you finish when? The other format you can present the same sentence is using SOV. SOV in SOV the subject here is you. So you, school. So school is the object. Verb is at the end. So school, you, school, when finish. Then there is a question mark here. So you can see that what you check in Kenya Sign Language when you're presenting a sentence in KSL grammar, you have to ensure that these two formats, the SOV and OSV, are follow. You have to ensure that they are in order, and you have to follow the two. So let me sign this before I expound on something that I want to talk about. So in exact English, when did you finish school? How do you sign that? So the sign for when did. Now the sign for did, to do. Okay, the present tense for did is do. So the sign for do is this, but this is in sign exact English. In sign exact English, you're supposed to present your sentence the way it is. So you're supposed, the sign for did, you can sign like this. So it will be, you figure spell. Figure spelling is to represent that word in letter form. So this is this D, I, and D. So when did you? Now you point to the point that the person who you are talking, the subject of the subject. So you is the subject. If that person is there, you have to point him or her. So when did you finish school? And then note, this is signed exact English. You have to put the question mark, because it's in signed exact English. Signed exact English is whereby you have to use every word that is in that sentence, unlike KSL, where you ought to ignore. So when did you finish school? Then the sign for question mark is this way. So you have to put it, and yeah, you have to put that in a sign exact English. So how do you present this in KSL? You have said this, school you finish when? So the same way you have signed. Okay, one thing, the sign don't change. The sign for those whether in SEE or in KSL doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the format or presentation in terms of grammar. So in KSL it will, school you finish when. So in that case, you won't put the question mark. You won't put the question mark, because the question is the grammar itself. It signifies that it's a question in KSL. The second one, you school when finish. So in this case, you are starting with you. So it's you school when finish. So that is what it's supposed to be represented. So there's something that I would like maybe to see, yeah? That these sentences, they appear in very, very different in SE and in KSL. But there is the one thing that changes is the orders of these sentences. So maybe there is someone who is asking himself or herself, why do people with hearing impairment chooses this language? Now, KSL is their mother tongue. Just like maybe how someone has, it's a Kikuyu speaker, this is their mother tongue. And they're instructed. Actually, this is the mode of instruction in school for the deaf. This is what they are getting. Even if they're being taught mathematics, they're instructed in this method. As you continue, maybe I know you are watching there, and you can send your comments through our KUTV Facebook. That is at KUTV, and also there is a number that is going at the caption there. You can send your comment in that WhatsApp number, and we shall read that after this. So, as a summary, and you can send even your question so that I can answer it maybe after the break. But now, it's something that I want us to recapitulate once again. Look at you have to check the sentences. Whether your sentence in KSL, have you put this sentence are they glossed? Or have they appeared in capital letters? It's a comma or a full stop represented by this slash. Is the grammar following these three verbs, these three format? But I have told you the most used one is the SOV and OSV, so that you don't make mistake. Because when you use the SVO, sometimes you may a sentence might not have a verb, might not have a subject but has an object, or have an object but doesn't have a subject. So you have to be very cautious when you are representing your sentence. Maybe you can look at another sentence which may. My mother is sick. So how can we represent this? How can we represent this in a KSL? My mother is sick. Remember, I have told you there is some sentences in KSL that they changes. Like my, it changes to mine. So the way you prepare, this is in natural language, this is natural English. So how will you present this? So remember, this mother is the subject. Sick is the verb. So how will you now use? Or we shall use the. So you start with the subject. So it will be mother mine, mother mine sick. So you have used, this is the subject and the verb. Remember why we are focused about the most important thing in KSL to note. You have to know where is the subject, where is the verb, and where is the object. Other things, they might not really apply to this order, but you have to ensure that you have known where the subject is and the verb, so that you can know. And remember, in our first rule, we say that the verb should always succeed the object or a subject. So this is mother mine sick. Mother mine sick. So how do you sign this sentence? So okay, let's start. We sign it in SE, then we sign it in KSL. So the sign for mother, this is mother. The sign is denoted from. It's normally said that the mothers are caring, so they usually touch their children like this, or their baby like this. So mother mine. Mother mine. No. Okay. My mother. We are doing it in SE. So my mother is sick. Again, my mother is sick. Now, when you look at the, now, there's something that maybe when you're signing, maybe it's very much important, maybe I can talk about it. It's about the, when you're signing them, like mother, this is the sign for mother. And sick is like this. Mother, you sign it in the no pen arm, like this, mother. But the other one, but the sick, but six, you open it when the palm, the opposite side of the palm, you press it there, the same place. Not that all the other that they must be put on the same cheek, no. But we have changed the palm. The palm is like, it's when it's looking at the opposite side. So it's, in KSL, the same sentence will be, mother, mine, sick. Mother, mother, mine, sick. Okay, so we have to ensure that the order of the verb is followed. Another sentence. Who is there? Who is there? So this is the in natural language. How do we represent this in KSL? So we start with it will be there who. And it's done. There who. So when you look at that sentence, we have started with this, and then we start with this is the. So how do you sign this? So in sign exact English, so this is a sign for who. 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 So who is there? It depends where you have to point where you are asking. If that person is seated here, you have to point like who is there? Who is there? It depends where you are pointing. So who is there? In KSL, you start with there. There who? There who? So you see, we are not using this like is. We are trying to ignore that is, or that is conjunctive that is. So in KSL, normally we make things by not involving some of that kind of thing. There is someone who is maybe who is wondering why deaf don't, or rather the person with hearing impairment, it's nowadays we don't call them deaf. It's a very it's not learners, or rather it's not as friendly as it may look, and that's why nowadays they're called the hearing impaired. Now there is someone who is asking, why don't the hearing impaired students don't do Kiswahili? And yet, there are those who know how to talk in Kiswahili. I'll explain a very technical terms that maybe I'll answer that question. To answer that question, there are two types of people with hearing impairment according to the onset of the deafness. One is called the prelingualist. Prelingualist. Now, what do we mean by the term prelingualist? The prelingualist, they are those person who develop their hearing impairment before they developed language. That's why we have the language. That's why from the language, this is language, and the This is before they develop language. If you are born and maybe you are born like maybe maybe in the course of 2 to 3 years, you develop this, maybe a problem in hearing. And you won't develop, you won't have that, you won't have that language. You will not have developed that language. So you won't learn. You won't be taught in Kiswahili because the school for the deaf from the nursery school to Form 4, they are not taught in Kiswahili. So where will you know? Where will you understand? Where will you be taught Kiswahili? So that's why you see most of the deaf, even if you text them in Kiswahili, they won't understand what you're meaning because they are not taught in Kiswahili. Alternative there, it's compensated with Kenya Sign Language. And that's why I told you at the beginning, KSL is their mother tongue. And it is tested in class 8 and class Form 4 because they don't do Kiswahili. So the prelingualist, deafness, the prelingualists they don't know, most of them, they don't know Kiswahili. Because in the school they are not taught. But the second group is the postlingualist. Postlingualists, they are those who develop their deafness when they have already acquired the language. Maybe you got an accident when you are 12 years old and you lost your hearing. So by that time you'll have developed your language. So it doesn't mean that your language will become extinct. You'll still have that language in your soul. So that's why you see some people deaf know Kiswahili and others don't know. Because the prelingualists, they are not totally taught in Kiswahili. And even though these postlingualists, if someone develops the deafness while he or she is in class 6, it means he'll be transferred or rather maybe be placed in a special school for the deaf where they won't get that, won't continue being taught in Kiswahili. That's why we see most of the deaf. Some knows Kiswahili and others don't know. But it all depends with the onset of the deafness. So we shall have a short break. Send your comments maybe through our WhatsApp. Our number is going down the caption, and also our Facebook at KUTV or Twitter at KUTV Kenya. So we are coming back. Ask me any question and I'll answer you. Thank you. And I have quite some question, but I'll try to answer one or two. There's someone who is asking me, who is asking through our website, and that does whether you are right-handed, left-handed affects your signing? No, it doesn't. If you are left-handed, you'll just use the same sign. If the sign for mother is this, you'll sign like this. And like this person who is right-handed, you sign like this. So if it's figure spelling, if you want to figure spell the name Derek, you say D-E-R-R-E-C-K. The same case you apply to the other side, D-E-R-R-I-C-K. So it doesn't change. Now it doesn't sign. So maybe there is someone there who is asking, what am I doing when I mean figure spelling? So I want maybe to take you through very fast the figure spelling, and maybe you can try whenever you are watching it to figure spell your name. Like my director is telling me he has already to figure spell his name. So I want us to figure spell from A to Z. So this is A, this is B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. There are two formats of S. You can sign S like this, or S. You just draw it on air like the way it appears with when the fist is the fist is like this. So S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So I repeat, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. You have to be very fast when you're interpreting. And if you can check if you can see my interpreter, what he's doing, you have to catch up with the speech. If you delay, if you delay in linking those words, you may not deliver whatever the speaker is saying. So you must be very fast when you are signing. So there is someone else who is asking me, what about those hearing impaired person who don't know sign language? Because sometimes it's true. There are so many people. There are so many person they don't hear and they don't know sign language. Okay, just like any other language, if when you're born and maybe if your mother decided not to teach you, even if it's your dialect language, your dialect, it means you won't develop any language. So language is learned. So for those who don't know sign language, is that they didn't go to school, or maybe they went to a regular school that they were not incorporating sign language. That's why you see sometimes even when you go to those bus stations or maybe at a village, there are those people, yes, they don't hear. They haven't gone to school. That's why they didn't learn this. And others they ignore because of the labeling. Some don't like even going to school for the deaf because they be labeled as deaf. But I think that's a stigma that it should not be there nowadays. Looking at all the affirmative action that the government is putting across to make sure that these people are integrated in our society. So the term of stigma is not something that should not be there. So if you have someone who is maybe at home, it doesn't know sign language. Even those there are those even local institutes that they offer free sign language. So it's always good to integrate them in the society because they are no longer excluded like there before. So we have come to our end of the lesson. Next time, the same place, we shall continue with the same and learn more about the KSL grammar and also some signs. So keep tuned, and next time, let's meet next time, same place, same time. Thank you very much. My name is Moses Gitonga, and my sign language interpreter is Nandili Derek. So thanks a lot. We meet next time.